The next obvious thing that we would build in such project is editing the product, right? So edit form should contain the values. And this is exactly what we'll test in this lesson. So we will load the form and we will test that these values are in here. First, as usual, what is the code? So in the index blade, I've made another column of edit the button, again protected by isAdmin, routes to products edit, and also header, empty row. Then the route is products edit and product update already. We will talk about update in the next lesson, but the route should be prepared already because in the edit blade of that form, actually in the products controller, I show it first the route model binding and then showing the edit form with that product, edit blade, and then that form action to the products update that I've mentioned previously. And we show those values as product name and product price here. And now let's write the test for that. So we do public function test product edit contains correct values like this. So we do this acting as this admin get products. What product? We need to create a product, right? So it would be product slash product ID or something, and we would create that with a factory. Product factory create a dummy product, create, and then we go to the product ID page, product ID, like this. Or in fact, the URL is /edit if we go to the resource controller routes, and we will get a response from that. And we will assert that response is 200, of course. Let's open it up a bit higher. So response assert status 200. And by the way, did you notice that I often have empty lines between arrange, act, and assert? And that is deliberately. So it would be visually clear, those three parts separated. So assert status of 200. And then we need to assert that the product values of name and price are in that form. And we can assert that from two ways. Similarly to the very first lessons of this course, we can do assert C and assert view has. And let's do exactly that. First, we'll do assert C, response assert C. What would be the text? Product name probably, but not just product name. It needs to be inside of the value of text input, which is value equals product name. Like this, something like this. So that should be inside of HTML code in the response. And similarly, price should be also there with value of another input field. So let's try to launch that and see if the test is successful. Artisan test, it failed. Why? Because it's looking for the values with end quote, escaping those quotes into special chars. And there's a parameter to avoid doing that. For example, if you are testing for something like this with quotes, if assert C should not escape that, you can add a parameter false value. By default, it is true, so escape true or false. And if we add false here and relaunch our tests again, PHP Artisan test, now it is successful. So be careful when you do assert C with some special characters. So that's the first part of our test successful. And now let's do assert view has response, assert view has product. And I think it would be successful if we just add product here without any callback function, because product value should be exactly this. In the product controller, it should be the product value. Relaunch the test again, and it's still green. The same test, again, has multiple assertions, but around the same scenario. We're testing the values, both visually and also that it comes from the controller correctly.